Join us today for another episode of Franchise Fixes, this time the Alien franchise. Welcome back to those who've been here before. Welcome to those of you here who are new to the channel. And today I am joined by Sarah, who you have hopefully seen in a few videos at this point, and Jim, who you've likewise hopefully seen in a few videos at this point. And Brad and Chad are still with the channel. This isn't some kind of I haven't dumped them and picked other people up, nothing at all like that.
Well, you have technically picked up somebody new, but...
Well, yes, the second half of that has happened, but the first half has not. They are still with us. We're just perpetually plagued by scheduling issues. Which, at least one of those is hopefully going to be sorting itself out very soon, but we'll see. So, with that in mind, today we're going to be talking about the Alien franchise, and in case you didn't watch the one other episode of the franchise fixes that we've done, yes, it has taken a while to get around to episode 2, as the general idea is, suppose you were given all the rights to the franchise and some large sum of money and access to talent and everything like that. What would you do to fix it? You know, we're operating under the assumption that there is in fact a problem with it, but what would you do to fix it? And it's a pretty open field. Would you guys like me to go first so you see the format in action?
So we can argue with you? Sure.
Well, yes, that too. That's why there's a panel instead of just one person. Okay, so for me, the first two critical things would be, number one, probably getting rid of the third and fourth movies. And it's not because they're bad movies or anything. It's because they incredibly limit the scope of the franchise. Because they really drive home the point that there's no xenomorphs anyplace else. So you're just going to have to come up with continually more and more contrived reasons to have them in the movies. So get rid of them. The other problem is that most of the cast, mainly Sigourney Weaver, but basically everyone else, is either aging out or dead. So, that would be a problem going forward. I would prefer to avoid a full reboot, because I think the first two movies are damn near perfect. I would put the deleted scenes back in the second movie to make that the definitive edition. Not so much the first movie. Then I would get with Ridley Scott and be like, what are your plans for your other two movies? And if they seem like they would work, get him on it. And tell him you're going to film them together because you're like 90. It's got to happen. But more big picture, I would make it very clear that it's a multimedia franchise and not just the movies. I would advertise the comics, the games, and all the lovely things you see here, and other things that aren't here.
The comics are really good.
Yeah, but mainly the Dark Horse comics. I haven't read the Marvel comics. Some of them sounded kind of ludicrous to me. So, but they keep finding survivors from LV-426 and aliens that survived, and they keep building off that because again, it's the only place in the universe to find them because they're idiots. So that's my outlook.
But I was gonna say one thing about that though is I think Prometheus actually fixed.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, Prometheus, you're forgetting the prequel.
They should fix them.
Well, no, but I'm saying that actually fixed that there's more than one spot where there are aliens.
Yeah, I'm saying it should fix it, but the problem is the other movies exist already and say that it's not. That's why they've got to go.
Well, but technically they don't know that about the engineers because everyone was dead.
Yeah, but they haven't found the planet either, so...
True.
So loop that back around.
Yes.
I think you need to connect the Prometheus better. I think it needs to go back.
No, that's why I'm saying let him finish his other two movies. Because the first movie he plans on finishing is going to finish the trilogy. And then there's meant to be a connecting movie to explain how those aliens got on LV-426. Alright?
Okay.
Let that play out, depending on what he says, obviously. If he's got some ludicrous idea, then no, and just ignore Prometheus and Covenant 2. If they don't work, they don't work. I mean,
Disagree.
Well, that's a great thing about opinions. You have the right to disagree with them.
you can't have broken pieces in the machine. It's like the problem Marvel's running into right now. Oh, we made the Skrulls good guys in Captain Marvel, but we want to use Secret Invasion, so now we've got to make them bad guys somehow.
I think with
And their
this,
idea so far is silly.
I think with this though, like the fact that they're out there in space and we don't know what they have carried onto, what cargo, what wreckage they've moved onto. Pull in some of the comic book stuff and talk about how, we didn't tell you, but we pulled some off and we went and made whole planets that are just labs for these things.
Who's we?
Like the government and Weyland Yutani.
Weyland Yutani is gone by the fourth movie.
Yeah.
That's the other problem, is the old bad guys are gone. Which makes sense because they keep doing stupid things.
But you could find stuff they did without telling anybody.
I know, but like the whole point is they keep making such a big deal they have to get this one because it's the only one. And it's stupid, it's ludicrous. That's why you can't do that. That's the same exact problem with the Highlander franchise. Was they were like, there can be only one, and at the end of the movie the guys won. Like, oh, this movie's successful, how the hell do we make a sequel? Well, we say he wasn't the only one. Well, actually, the real sequel was, we say they're from space, but that was really stupid. So, that's what I'm saying. You have to sequel-proof the series. You've got to get rid of all this crap that says, oh, there's only a finite number of them in one place in all the universe. Alright? And you can't come off of Aliens or Alien 3 saying, oh, but this other stuff over here exists because Alien Resurrection is farther down the road and says, no, it doesn't.
But then again, Alien vs. Predator could also make that work.
No, because Alien vs. Predator doesn't make a damn bit of sense in the whole time.
No, but if you just take Aliens vs. Predator,
the very first one.
where they obviously breed them for hunting. I'm just saying the concept, not the movie, the concept.
Yeah, the concept I 100% agree with, and had I been allowed to finish, I was going to get there. Like, because that's the other thing, is fully integrate it with the Predator franchise. And make a movie based on the original Alien vs. Predator comic, which spells out that very clearly there's more aliens, and the Predators are sending them wherever to hunt them. Do that. So then you have that, because the original comic's good.
I think the movie was terrible. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible.
It's not that it's terrible, it's that it doesn't fit. Okay, because now you run into the problem of, so the Weyland Corporation is founded by the guy that looks just like Bishop, who was made by a guy that looked just like Bishop 400 years in the future. Like, unless he's a clone or just another robot, which the movie never goes into, and people aren't going to care after this many years, including that detail in the sequel. They're going to be like, what the hell are they talking about? Alien 3, that was made 20 years before I was born.
Well,
why do I care?
We're talking about it, so obviously someone
We're talking
cares.
about going forward. Okay? But you see my point. Like, you bring up minutia from a movie that came out all that time ago. Like, that's what they tried to do with Superman Returns. They were like, this is a sequel to Superman 1 and 2, and everyone's like, what the hell are you talking about?
But they did at least get rid of 3 and 4.
I don't care what they did. Superman Returns sucked.
They did, but I mean, at least they had the right idea.
It made Superman out to be a rapist. I mean, he's sitting there, because the way Superman 2 ends is he wipes Lois's memory. Superman Returns, she's got a kid. It doesn't know it's Superman's. Like, you put all that together, he slept with her at some point while she knew he was Clark, then wiped her memory, and didn't tell her later on, oh, by the way, that's my kid. Like, that is not Superman. Like, no. That's someone from the Watchmen comic or something. Well, I mean, they're real people that do screwed up things.
Right.
But yes, include Alien vs. Predator. And then expand out. Like, we never once see any other aliens.
Yeah.
Like, surely to God other aliens exist out there. Let's see some weird things. And then let's see some xenomorph versions of those weird things. Let's see, develop the Predators more as something, get some background. Build up on the whole AI thing that's going on in all the movies. Explore that concept. Open it up.
Yeah.
It's stuck in Star Wars mode where it has this whole universe, but all the movies are about the Skywalkers. and half of them go to Tatooine.
That's where my opinion is, that they made the perfect game that would make for the perfect movie, and that is, if you've not seen it or played Alien Isolation, it is a fantastic game. As unfortunately didn't do very well at launch, and it's just now had picked up a cult following kind of thing with it. But it actually follows Amanda Ripley, which is Ripley's daughter, and her trying to find her mom, and a ship
she runs into.
Yes, a ship actually lands on the planet, the same planet. I never know the number.
LV-426.
Yes, and another crew get a face hugger on theirs, and they get pulled back to a station that then gets overrun by aliens, which makes perfect sense and that would also get you another plot of having aliens off of the planet.
Well, sure, but I'm still saying you still have to eliminate the other movies that say that doesn't happen. Is the problem?
Well, it's true.
Like, I agree. From everything you've shown me, Isolation would probably make a pretty good movie.
And the great part is nobody is a reoccurring character. Everybody's a brand new person that you don't see in any other movies. It would work.
And you've got the tie back with Amanda. That works well.
Yep. And that would be one if they want to make a movie, and obviously it fits between Alien and Aliens, because by time Aliens happens, Amanda's been dead for so many years. I think the fourth movie had good ideas, because I think you could always take somebody like the military or whatever, and don't always make Whale and Yutani the bad guys.
Well, they don't always have to be.
But I mean, I think if you did something with the military, and say they did have a planet, found a planet and all that, still like the idea of cloning. I still like the idea of trying to clone an alien, trying to manipulate the DNA, throw a little bit of Jurassic Park in there, and have them try to make hybrids and all sorts of other things.
Just make sure we're not using that frog DNA that mutates, so we know what we're getting.
Yeah. But I think that that's a good idea. It's 3 could have also worked if it was like I said, it just a meteorite crashes on the planet and now you've got aliens. How would people that have no weapons, survive that? I did see something though where they were talking about in Alien 2, one of the flaws about it that nobody really took into account is that the number of the number of what do they call it? Colonists to the number of actual xenomorphs. There should have been less than 200 of them.
Okay.
And the guns that they had in the hallway with 2,000 rounds of ammunition each or whatever.
Should have been able to take care of the problem.
I think they said that up to that point they had about 60 kill counts. That there shouldn't have been enough.
I don't think they killed 60 by that point. I think they killed like 6 by that point.
Well, and
because before that, they basically just got their asses handed to them in the reactor, and that's pretty much it.
And I'd have to go. It was an interesting thing. I should go back and watch the video that actually explains the math on how they got to.
Yeah, I mean the math's probably right. Like, because you're right, there can't be any more aliens than there are colonists, and there would probably actually be less.
And you can take into account and say, okay, let's say that there were some dogs there. Okay, you're going to have some aliens off the dogs. Mm-hmm. That was the thing in the third one.
They're doing like monkeys or labs. You might have some of those.
That was the thing in the third one that I'm like, I don't know why they changed it. Because originally in the third movie, the reason why the alien's not gigantic like an ox is because originally it was a dog. Yeah. But people were like, no, you can't kill a dog. Like, you can kill as many people as you want, kids, babies, whatever. But no, not dogs. Dogs are too precious. You
can't just say I'm in that. And
you've seen John Wick, right?
I would have been upset had they killed the cat in the first movie. Like, I'm just saying, you don't kill your pets.
Yeah, that's because they're innocent. They're always going to be innocent. They're just animals. But, people become bigger people and stuff, so.
Yeah.
They become like Burke.
I do like some of the, is it from the comics? Like, I've seen some of the older stuff when we've gone through toy shops and stuff that have like the rhinos and the jaguars and
that is from the 90s toy line, where for some reason Kenner thought it was a really awesome idea to make toys for the Aliens, Predator, and Terminator movies, all of which are all R-rated entries up to that point. Like, I
think they're cool.
They're cool toys, but like I have no idea what the thought process at Kenner was beyond like after they hit that line at Coke, like, all right, let's make some toys based on R-rated movies because clearly kids have seen them.
Well, right here's a new version of a toy that they made. The coin for I believe that's Mega Bloks.
I'm sure, but
Like Mega Bloks?
now we're in a whole other realm where adults buy half the toys that are out there for
Well, maybe
themselves.
they just knew that was coming. Don't roll your eyes at me.
Nobody knew that was coming.
Well, I can tell you a fact: a kid bought this one. So
Well, sure, but I'm just saying, like, that's why it got made.
I know. I think the only, like I said, with having different creatures, different aliens. Like I said, the one that I liked is when Batman fought the aliens, and which is funny because now that Marvel owns the rights, the fact that Batman versus the aliens existed at one point in time, and somehow a face hugger got onto a crocodile and made a giant crocodile alien.
That is cool.
Well, as far as the comic book, the only thing there is like it's never going to be reprinted.
Of course not. It's unfortunate,
So.
but I mean, I like the absurdity of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, again, if all these aliens got on Earth, especially in like the Amazon jungle or whatever.
Well, yeah, that's why in the Dark Horse comics, eventually Earth is overrun with the xenomorphs.
Like,
I mean-
let's have no baboon xenomorphs. Goodness gracious, they're horrible enough.
I mean, all you need to do is get a face hugger on a giant bird, and then now you have a flying alien.
Yeah.
And now it's
Yeah,
just,
well, I mean, in the
that
old
was
ac-
the end of game.
In the action figure line, there was a flying queen alien. So,
That's like what was it, Quetzalcoatl? That's rebirth of this kind of.
yeah.
Yee.
But yeah, like in the comics, there's all like the aliens do eventually make it to Earth, and they eventually overrun Earth. You've got a bunch of weird stuff happens though, like they figure out that the Queen actually has some way to like psionically communicate to receptive people and things like that. It's basically like forming an army that people don't know is forming to come break her free, which happens, and then they get the eggs out, and that's pretty much game over. Like, because once they're in the sewers and every place else, like, no, there's no
You're
stopping
not
that.
getting it back, yeah.
And that's why by the deadliest of the species, Alien versus Predator crossover, like Earth is totally overrun. And that would be the end goal I'd work towards, because that is a very out there comic, to put it mildly. It's got it all: aliens, predators, people coming back from the dead as alien-predator hybrids, robots controlling things, a king alien. It's got it all.
Well, I mean, they go into some absurdity by the time you get to the end of the Alien series that we've got. I mean, the pink-ish xenomorph. It's like mom, like that's.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's another like one generation away from being much like able to talk, walk,
Yeah.
function as a human almost.
I was able to get to suck out a hole through the size, size of a quarter.
Yeah.
Look,
But that's what I mean. It's just expanding on.
I think they need to explore that world. They've made a world and then they're ignoring it, and they're just, like you said, they're just streamlining one set of characters.
And I get people have to be a part of something because otherwise there's no way of making a connection to it. If it was just like aliens and predators, say like that was it, there was no other people in there. None of them would be speaking English. First of all, there'd be no dialogue that we would understand. It would all be, subtitles to read.
Because how do you even talk with the four-piece mouth of Predator?
But I get that
human speech.
But just have them stumble upon, like kind of like they did in the Alien Covenant. It was like, oh, here's a planet that looks nice. It's an oxygen atmosphere, great for us to whatever. And then
It's a Goldilocks planet. Let's look at it.
yeah, and then have it just overrun with xenomorphs,
Shit, out.
Yeah.
and then maybe even have like the current alien population. That well, I don't want to say aliens. Technically, the humans would be the aliens, but the people of that planet are still maybe waging a war that they're losing, and then now you've got these other people coming from space who are like thinking, hey, there's a nice planet,
And you could with that, you could even build off of their native fauna is what a lot of the aliens are going to be changing on. It gives you more range. It gives you room to expand.
So with all the Star Trek, I wonder if the aliens can, with all the Star Trek talk that we've had, I wonder if if the face huggers, if it has to be a carbon-based life form, what if it's a silica-based life form, or
aren't the aliens not carbon-based life forms to begin with? If I recall correctly.
I don't know, but
I'm pretty sure Ash said that in the first movie.
But something other than us. Something that's not carbon-based. Something that would be weird and not xenomorphy even.
Well, I mean, sure, but like if we're talking literally Star Trek, that's just people with rubber foreheads. Like they're gonna look pretty similar.
Well, no, but I'm talking about
you go into Star Wars, like think like Jabba the Hutt.
I'm talking that rock creature that ate the miners in the one episode of the original series.
I don't think
the one
with
where
the get on that.
You can watch it try. That would be amusing.
Maybe what were they? The Shellyak.
Okay.
The ones who are going to come and like wipe out all those people. Like, well, their contract says we can do this, and finally Picard's like, well, subsection 830, paragraph B, section C says I can seek arbitration. All right, fine. All right, and I'm going to choose these guys that are going to be hibernating for the next 9 months. Maybe the guys he was talking to, maybe them. They were some kind of weird life form.
Well, what about what about this
out,
Korg and his species of rock people?
Korg. I'd rather not.
But that's what I'm saying.
I've had
though.
enough of Korg.
Could you imagine a xenomorph with rock hard skin
and acid blood?
And acid blood.
Yeah, the xenomorphs take on the properties of the other things.
Yes.
Yeah. Like
I'm just saying.
Why we need to have weird alien animals and
The people creating avatar animals need to merge their thought process with alien.
There we go. Throw some a coin on Pandora.
Yeah, well, I still want to know why the Na'vi are the only animals on Pandora that don't have 6 limbs. All the others do, and they supposedly evolve there. That makes no sense. James Cameron made this huge deal about, we're going to make everything line up, and then like the thing that needs to line up, fuck it, why not?
Maybe you just can't see it, and they have little flappies on the side.
No, because they've got the tail to have sex with all the animals. So
yeah, because that's also what they use for intercourse, which is weird.
Very weird.
Anyways, so
back to Alien.
Well, I don't know. There was.
I was going to say that this conversation is out of the range of what happens in Alien movies.
Yeah, because in the first Alien movie, there was the tail.
Yeah. And there's the fact of what various parts of the alien clearly are referencing.
Yeah.
But, I think that would be my take on it. So I don't really have.
I would really like to see the Predator and Alien integration, and to hash that out a little more, and to flush out that relationship, and maybe how did they discover that these things, and hey, we should hunt them, or that they're, that would be a very interesting movie.
Well,
like the first encounter.
I was going to say the original Alien versus Predator comic. The main reason I would use it is because as things fall apart for the humans, one of them joins the Predators and like learns their ways and eventually leaves with them, like becomes a member of the clan and everything.
Xenomorph does?
No, a human.
Oh, human.
And that's where in the Alien vs. Predator movie,
with you too, I was like, I am so lost. Like, how did that happen?
That's where the using the chunk of the alien to make the mark for the clan comes from. And they do it to the face mask, and then right there. And so she becomes their character that shows up in some of the other comics later on too. So she learns a lot about them. So through her, we would learn stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's also really interesting, like the collections. You see that like every ship would have the trophy collection of what they've gotten.
Yeah.
Did you introduce aliens onto that planet then? Like, and what are these alien skulls that have been, or are they those actual creatures?
Yeah.
Or what? Like, give me more info.
There you go. That would actually be a kind of a neat topic. That the Predator's like, well, we've hunted these things. They're not a challenge for us anymore. Let's throw a face hugger on it and let's see if that becomes a challenge.
Like, this is now, like, this trophy is old hat. We need to spice it up a little.
Yeah.
Like, because there's definitely a T-Rex skull in there, and it's like, I need to see a face hugger on a T-Rex. Thanks. How big does that thing have to be?
I don't think just T-Rex can eat the face hugger. And
you need the face hugger from Prometheus.
Like the one with the
because it can't swat
engineers.
It off. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Little arms.
So yeah. So Jim's, that's pretty much the extent of your idea then.
Yep.
Sarah, anything else on your front?
I'm an Alien fan, but I'm also a big Predator fan. So I think pulling them together in a more flushed out world would be what I would go into, and probably more Prometheus. I want the connection.
Yeah, I want the connection.
I want that connection
I like
flushed
Prometheus and Covenant. I want to see the other two movies, but if it doesn't have a good idea, then
I'm also seeing that we need to do a Predator fix.
yeah. Because I suppose if we're going to integrate, I would probably dump the last Predator movie, even though I really liked it. That whole plot of we're looking for autistic people to the next step in human evolution, and that's why we hunt people's skulls.
Well,
it's kind of it's like.
That's not technically the last one. The last one was the.
Oh, I didn't see Prey, so.
No, you didn't see Prey?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I don't have to look. So, yeah, I guess I need to watch that first. So, I mean, what the hell do they call it? The Predator, Predators.
They get weird.
It's like
with the
it's like the Fast and
the
Furious
articles they're adding.
franchise. They just randomly name them, similar to Alien. Let's add an S for the sequel. Okay. We'll add the number 3 to the original title. Okay. We'll add a subtitle for the fourth one with no number. It's like, God damn it, just choose one.
Well, the fact that they called it Resurrection, that's when you know your franchise is in need of.
Why are we flailing?
Oh.
Stop flailing.
Oh,
No.
Jim. Halloween Resurrection was only like part 6. There were 2 more movies in the mainline franchise and
But
5 after that.
well, okay, so a topic for another time would be go find almost every list of movie that has the word resurrection and rate those by how
We can do that.
Resurrection movies. How awful are they?
what. Well, because I believe there was one for Resident Evil too. That's Resurrection.
Is there?
But no. Normally, anytime a franchise tags the word resurrection, it's usually the death of the franchise. At that point, it's usually,
Your last hoorah to try to get.
You're not even on the B-list actors. You're on C and D-list actors.
You've got your cult following that's going to follow you anywhere, but you're flailing around for the other people.
Yeah, the people that their other acting gigs are on, usually can be found on Pornhub or.
Oh, well.
You can edit that out if you need to.
No.
But anyways.
No, it's when you go and you see that they have a list of credits as long as Christopher Lee's, but most people have not seen most of the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for those of you who are unaware, Christopher Lee has an insanely lengthy filmography. You should check it out sometime. Okay, so that sounds like it's probably it. So let us know what you guys think. Any of these ideas sound good? You have your own ideas, obviously. We would love to hear them. If at all possible, we'll bring them up in another video. We'll have to see how that'll work out. But we definitely do want to hear them. So let us know down in the comments. And, this is the end of a YouTube video, so you know what's coming. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. But other than that, thanks for watching, and stay frosty.